Now let us look at this illustration, which essentially takes on solving problems based on nth term of an AP. The problem is the sum of the fourth and the eighth term of an AP is 24, and the sum of sixth and 10th terms of the AP is 44, and we have to find the first three terms of the AP. Now for problems such as these, we start by assuming the first term and the common difference to be something. So let us assume that the first term is A and common difference is D. Then as per question, A4 plus A8 is equal to 24. What will be A4? A4 will be A plus n minus 1, n here will be 4, so it will be 4 minus 1 into D. And what will be A8? It will be A plus 8 minus 1 into D, and this is equal to 24. So what do we have? We have A plus 3D plus A plus 7D equal to 24. So we get a relation between A and D here. 2A plus 10D equal to 24. We take out 2 common. So what we get is A plus 5D is equal to 12. This is the first relation that we get here. Similarly, if we use the second given condition that the sum of the sixth and the 10th terms is 44, what do we get? We have A6 plus A10 equal to 44, or A plus 5D plus A plus 9D will be equal to 44. So what do we get there? We have 2A plus 14D is equal to 44, or A plus 7D is equal to 22. So this can be taken as equation 2. Now if we subtract 2 from 1, so if we do 2 minus 1, what do we get? A will cancel out, and 7D minus 5D would give you 2D, and 22 minus 12 is going to give you 10. Therefore D comes out to be 5. Substituting the value of D in any of the equations 1 or 2, we can get the value of A. So for example, if we substitute the value of D here in equation 2, from 2, what do we get? A is equal to 22 minus 7 into 5, that's 22 minus 35, it's equal to minus 13. So A is minus 13 and D is 5. Now can you write the first three terms of the AP using this? Of course you can. What will be the first term? It will be equal to A, and hence it will be equal to minus 13. So this is the first term that we get. What will be the second term? It will be A plus D. So we have minus 13 plus 5, that's equal to minus 8. And what will be the third term? It will be A plus 2 into D. So you have 10 minus 3, 13 is minus 3. So we can find out the three terms, first three terms of the AP given a few relation between A and D. So what did we do in this particular question? Let's revisit it again. We have been given that the sum of the fourth and the eighth term of an AP is 24, and the sum of the sixth and the 10th term is 44. It is not given what the first term or the common difference is. So we will assume it to be A and D respectively. Using the given conditions, we figure out the relation between A and D. Since A and D are two unknowns, we will be requiring two equations. So the first equation is obtained by substituting this, and the second equation is obtained by using this given relation. So we have two equations, A plus 5D is equal to 12 and A plus 7D equal to 22. When we solve these two, we get the value of D as 5. Substituting the value of D in any of the two equations that we have, we can get the value of A. Here we have substituted the value of d in equation 2. So a will be equal to 22 minus 7 into d, d was 5. So we have obtained a is equal to minus 13. When we have got a and d, can't we find out the first 3 or n number of terms of an AP? Of course we can. So the first term would be a, which is minus 13. The second term will be a plus d, which is minus 13 plus 5, which gives you minus 8. a3, which is the third term, will be a plus 2d. A is minus 13 and 2 into 5 is 10. So you get minus 3. So these are the 3 terms of the AP that we have got. Let's take up another problem now. Now here is a very interesting question. What does it say? It says if the pth term of an AP is q and the qth term is p. So the pth term is q and qth term is p. We have to find out nth term in terms of p, q and n. Again here we'll assume that the first term is a and the common difference as d. So what will be the pth term? Pth term will be AP and it will be a plus p minus 1 into d. And what is it equal to? It's equal to q. And qth term, it's given that aq is equal to a plus q minus 1 into d, and this is equal to p. Now we have to find out the nth term. For finding out the nth term, we have to find out a and d. How do we find that? If we subtract these two equations, what do we get? A and a will cancel out. A and a will cancel out if we subtract. And if we subtract this from this, what do we get? P minus 1 minus q plus 1 into d is equal to q minus p minus 1, and when we subtract this, the sign of both these will change. That's what we have done. D will be common and we have q minus p on the other side. So 1 cancels out here and we have p minus q into d is equal to q minus p. This is opposite in sign, so this will give you minus 1. Therefore, d is equal to minus 1. When d is equal to minus 1, can you substitute and find out a? Yes, you can. So what do? A plus p minus 1 into minus 1 is equal to q. So we have a plus 1 minus p is equal to q, and a will be equal to p plus q minus 1. This is upon simplification. So we simplify the given conditions to find out the values of d and a. Now nth term is easy. What is nth term? Nth term would be an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. We have to substitute, we have to find it out, we have to find out nth term in terms of p, q and n. So a and d have to be eliminated. So instead of a, what do we put? We put p plus q minus 1. N would remain as it is, and instead of d, what do we have? We have minus 1. What do we get? P plus q minus 1 minus n plus 1. N into minus 1 would be minus n, and minus 1 into minus 1 would be plus 1. So this 1 and 1 will cancel, minus 1 and 1. And what do we get? We get p plus q minus n, and this is what? The nth term. Is this what we had to find out? Of course, we had to find out the nth term, and we had to prove that it will be equal to p plus q minus n, which we have proved here. So if you just revisit it again, what exactly did we did in this question? Again, here the pth term and the qth term of a given AP, of an AP is given. The first term and the common difference is not specified. So we let the first term be a and the common difference be d. Now pth term or AP will be a plus p minus 1 into d as per the formula, and it is given to be equal to q. Similarly, the qth term aq will be a plus q minus 1 into d as per formula, and it is given to be equal to p. When we have these two equations, we can subtract these two to get the value of d. Why? Because when we subtract these two, a will cancel out and we will have p minus 1 minus q plus 1 into d is equal to q minus p. and then we cancel out the 1 and minus 1, and we get p minus q into d is equal to q minus p. Now these are same numbers with just the opposite sign, therefore d is equal to minus 1. When we get the value of d, we can substitute it in this first equation to get the value of a. A comes out to be p plus q minus 1. Once we have both the values of a and d, it's very easy to find out the nth term given the first term and the common difference. So an will be a plus n minus 1 into d. A was p plus q minus 1, n minus 1, and d was minus 1. You simplify it, and what you obtain is the value of the nth term, and it comes out to be equal to p plus q minus n, which is what we had to